Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm back with another folklore story. Thought I'd do a super spooky one today since Halloween is just around the corner. I promise though I will do some light-hearted, non-spooky ones in the future. But yeah, let's get spooky and let's get straight into this chilling story. So today's folklore is all about the Bell Witch. So, where does the story of the Bell Witch come from? To begin, this folklore is supposedly based on a real life haunting that occurred around 1817. This particular legend came from the south of the United States in Tennessee. So this haunting and the tales around it have been put into question over time, some believing it not only to be a ghost but perhaps a poltergeist, perhaps a demon, perhaps a djinn, or even a goblin. So, will I have heard of this story before? So this particular story has had an immense influence on cinema, some might argue, perhaps towards haunting films like the Poltergeist series or the Paranormal series, but there are also many films that will have likely been influenced by the Bell Witch from films like The Witch or The Blair Witch Project, blending those types of paranormal, haunting tales to those dark, devilish, witchy vibes. As if witches didn't have a hard enough time already staying clear of the stigma that we worship the devil. Ghost Adventures also did an episode where they actually toured the Bell Witch Cave. I love Ghost Adventures. I think it's a great show, and yeah, check it out. So let's get into the story. What is the story of the Bell Witch? Most of what we know today is based on a book written in 1894 by a newspaper editor called Martin V. Ingram. He titled this book An Authenticated History of the Bell Witch. So let's go back to the 19th century. So this folklore story is about the Bell family, and they lived in Tennessee. So according to the legend, from around 1817 to 1821, the Bell family and the local area came under attack from an entity that was mostly invisible. This entity was supposedly able to speak, move objects, shapeshift, be able to cross long distances, be able to be in more than one place at a time, and even potentially to have been clairvoyant, which maybe is why they refer to this entity or spirit as a witch, perhaps. So apparently this entity's name was Kate, and she referred to herself as the old Kate Bates Witch. She mostly haunted the youngest daughter, who was called Betsy, and her father, who was a farmer called John. So the haunting began sometime around 1817 when John witnessed the apparition of a creature that looked like a dog, but it had the head of a rabbit. Betsy observed a girl that was swinging on a swing from an oak tree. So the activity was just mainly outside in the beginning, and then it slowly came to inside. Family members starting to hear knockings on the walls and the doors, and they even started to hear strange sounds like chains being dragged. Soon after, things got even worse, and sheets were being pulled from the children's bed, hair was being pulled, and skin was being scratched. Betsy being targeted the most because she was slapped, pinched, and struck with pins. It is alleged that Kate wasn't happy when Betsy became engaged to a local boy named Joshua. So John asked his friend James for help, but then James was also awakened at night by the same happenings. So word started to spread about this entity and these happenings, and people started to travel great distances to experience this entity or this apparition or this ghostly witch. And then the entity started to speak. So people started asking this entity, "Who are you and what do you want?" And she said, "I'm a spirit. I was once very happy but have been disturbed." She would refer to John as Old Jack, and she claimed she wanted to unalive him. He did end up dying in 1820, most likely from a neurological disorder. But the timing is crazy because it was literally just 3 years after the hauntings began. He's said to have disrupted the funeral service by singing drinking songs, and she said she fixed him, that she did it, and that he will not get up. He is also noted as the first person in history to die from supernatural causes, because at the time it was very unexplained and all the locals truly believed in this entity. So Betsy ended up calling off her engagement, and the entity then told the family that she would be leaving but return in 7 years. She did apparently come back but appeared to have left shortly afterwards. So that is basically the story. It's crazy. So what is the situation like today? So the Bell Witch Cave is on property once owned by the Bell family. Many believe that once the witch departed this family, she fled to the sanctuary of this cave. So anyone today can pay and go on a tour of the Bell Witch Cave in Tennessee, which has been placed on the National Historic Registry. The tour is about 40 minutes long and they take you on a tour through the cave once owned by John Bell. You'll learn all about the story of the Bell Witch hauntings and you'll hear some chilling stories of recent activity as well. Super skeptic when it comes to ghosts and everything, but for some reason it freaks me out. I don't know, the idea of ghosts and everything really freaked me out, even though I'm such a skeptic. It's weird, but yeah, let me know if you'd go. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like. Hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!